Hey everyone, today we're going to learn about the American Romantics, early 1800s to 1865. Now, when I tell you on a few of these, I'm going to say do not write. You do not write that slide. That being said, if I don't say do not write, I do want you to write it down. So first, though, we need our essential question. What is Romanticism? Do not write this. We will walk with our own feet. We will work with our own hands. We will speak our own minds. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Now, Ralph Waldo Emerson was actually a transcendentalist, which is the period after Romanticism. But this really speaks to our Romantic writers. And what type of values might have an American Romantics embrace, judging from this quote? They shunned industrial progress, disliked factory products, and were nonconformist. So what is a Romanticism? Well, first we need to think about what it is not. Despite the name of the literary period, Romanticism does not deal with sappy love stories. This is not that kind of literature that we're going to study. Romanticism is the name of the literary period that followed the Age of Reason, which was during the Revolutionary period in America. Due to the fact that the country was now established, writers moved their focus away from political matters and revolutionary governmental ideas and began to focus on other aspects of life, emotions, possibilities, and imagination. Many of the characteristics are as followed. Values, feeling, and intuition over reason. They place faith in inner experience and the power of imagination. They shun the artificiality of civilization and seek unspoiled nature. They preferred youthful innocence to educated sophistication. They championed individual freedom and the worth of the individual. And one thing to remember about our Romantic writers is they were anti-slavery. They also contemplated nature's beauty as a path to spiritual and moral development. They look backwards to the wisdom of the past and distrusted progress. And they find beauty and truth in exotic locales, the supernatural realm, and the inner world of the imagination. So this is a sample of American Romantic art. Note the wild landscape, no hint of civilization, and ominous clouds. So the type of literature that was prevalent in Romanticism was short stories, novels, poetry, and essays. So what were the elements? Well, frontier, the vast expanse, freedom, no geographic limitations. Optimism, greater than in Europe because of the presence of frontier. And the thing is, next year you'll look at the British Romantics, and they are very different. They're similar in the sense of worshiping nature over the city, but there was an optimism in the American Romantics that aren't seen in the British. Experimentation in science and institutions, mingling of races. Like I said, they were anti-slavery, and they oftentimes wrote about this. The immigrants in large numbers arrived to the U.S. at this time, and they were okay with it. Bring us your tired and poor. They believed in it. Growth of industrialization. The polarization of North and South. North becomes industrialized, South remains agricultural. So their subject matter. Now, they often wrote about the quest for beauty and does not tell people how to live their lives. Escapism from American problems, the use of faraway and non-normal, and the interest in external nature for itself for beauty. Nature is source for the knowledge of the primitive. Nature is refuge. Nature is revelation of God to the individual. Now, some of their techniques: the remoteness of setting in time and space, improbable plots, inadequate or unlikely characterization, socially harmful morality, a world of lies, organic principle in writing, form rises out of content, and it's very non-formal. Now, these writers are very important and representative of the Romantic: William Cullen Bryant, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. They were poets. We have the Dark Romantics: Nathaniel Hawthorne, who we're going to read, Herman Melville, Edgar Allan Poe, which you know, but we're going to read a story of his as well. Hawthorne wrote short stories and novels. Melville, short stories and novels. I think he wrote a couple of poems, but I'm not for sure. Edgar Allan Poe wrote novels, short stories, and poetry. The big picture. Romantic view of man, the focus of the individual and his inner world, imagination and emotions. Look inward, give the dark side a kiss, and call a truce. That would definitely be a romantic viewpoint. Their view of nature. Nature is beautiful, mysterious, and symbolic. God can be seen in nature. Romantic guide to truth. Intuition, inner voice or gut feeling, and imagination guides each individual to understanding. So the dark romanticism, or it's often called the American Gothic. Edgar Allan Poe with Hawthorne and Melville, known as the anti-transcendentalist or dark romantics. They had much in common with transcendentalists. They explored conflicts between good and evil, psychological effects of guilt and sin, and madness. And they often did it in a darker way than our transcendentalists or the regular romantics did it. There's Nathaniel Hawthorne, Edgar Allan Poe, and Herman Melville. And that is the end of this. So I hope you enjoy. This is one of my favorite areas of literature, so I hope you enjoy our stories we're going to read.